Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duck Bricks. I'm Chris, and well, there's no easy way to say this, but I have made the incredibly difficult decision to step away from the LEGO Ambassador Network. This is obviously a really big decision, and if you don't know what the LEGO Ambassador Network, aka the LAN, is, it's a program that I have been in for the past 3 years that really gives you a lot of cool opportunities with LEGO. You receive sets early to review, you get the chance to go in person to an event called Fan Media Days in Denmark, which is the home of LEGO, to see new sets early and get a chance to film footage with them and interview designers. And it also is the home of a really fun community of incredibly passionate LEGO fans with social media accounts out there that I have had the pleasure of working with over the past 3 years. And before I jump into the reasons why and the details, I just want to say that it has been an incredibly positive and awesome journey. I'm so grateful to LEGO for bringing me into the program and for all of the friends that I met through the program itself. I feel like so many of my closest friends now, I've actually met through the LEGO Ambassador Network, and we got to know each other through conventions and events and going on trips together. And it represented a really big part of my life that I will never ever forget, and I think that this has made a huge impact on me. I still remember the day that I got accepted into the LEGO Ambassador program was one of the best days or happiest days of my life, and I do not say that lightly. It was a big goal of mine for a long time, and when it finally happened, it was astounding. I could not believe that I was accepted to be part of this. And I just want to get into the reasons a little bit here. First and foremost, I want to emphasize that I will not stop making LEGO videos. Duck Bricks is not over. We are still going to be making videos. I also will not stop working with LEGO. I intend to continue to see what opportunities there are to work with LEGO. I've had a lot of great conversations following my decision to leave with folks internally within the LEGO group who have said that they would still love to work with me in some ways, even though I choose to no longer want to be in the LEGO Ambassador Network. And look, I am all for that. My door is always open. If there's a cool LEGO opportunity, you know what? I am almost always down. I say yes to pretty much every single opportunity. But here's the thing. That is kind of the reason as to why I'm stepping away from the LEGO Ambassador Network. For those who don't know me well, or if you haven't gotten a chance to see some of my other videos, this year, I really started to focus on an incredibly exciting startup that I began working on in New York with some incredibly talented and smart co-founders, and I honestly did not really know the speed and velocity at which it would take off. This startup called Nui was an idea that I had actually about a couple of years ago. So 2 years ago, I had this idea, and I actually just put out a whole video about how I quit my job at Microsoft this year to focus on Nui. And well, I didn't expect this to be happening so soon, but now I'm putting out this video just a few weeks later saying how I'm quitting the LAN to focus on Nui. And one of the really exciting things that happened this year in particular is that we finally closed some pretty major contracts at the beginning of this year, and we were able to deliver on those, and it has really been off to the races. We've been working on getting new clients for what we do. I'm not going to delve too much into what Nui does because I literally just made a video all about Nui that I explained like what the startup is, how it started, what we do, what it does, and so that's linked in the description. That was about how I quit my job at Microsoft. But long story short, we are a data and machine learning startup that is meant to enhance what a lot of these larger corporations have out there in terms of raw data that they don't really know what to do with, and bringing value to them, to their employees, to their customers, and solving problems like cutting down on food waste, which is a big focus of what we do at Nui with demand forecasting algorithms. There's a lot more I could say, but long story short, honestly, I'm very grateful for it, but we reached pretty unprecedented growth this year alone. Since February, between the months of February to August, so it was a little over a 6-month period, we actually reached $1 million in profit, and I don't think any of us could have really expected that. We obviously put our hearts into it, and we really have been pushing it so forwards with everything we have. But when we reached that milestone, I feel like everything really changed, because for me, that was the milestone where it made sense to quit my job at Microsoft and to focus fully on Nui, which is exactly what I did. And now, since August to now, we have reached even more growth. We have reached even more heights. And I think that honestly, I want to make sure that for Duckbricks, I am putting out videos that I want to make, that I'm really passionate about, and that are high quality. And I was looking at my schedule recently, and I honestly realized that so many of my videos are LAN reviews and early reviews, and some of those for themes that I really love. That's awesome, like Ninjago, or even other original LEGO themes, even to an extent superheroes or Star Wars. That's amazing, and I love being able to do that. But when almost the entirety of my video calendar in a year is early reviews, I begin to think, well, what can I actually be doing with the little time, like the dwindling time I have left to work on Duckbricks videos that I actually really want to do, and videos that I actually really want to make? And I'm not saying that I don't want to be making LAN videos. I am incredibly grateful for the opportunities I've been given through the LEGO Ambassador Network to review sets early and to showcase sets early and to engage in all their promotional campaigns. But I also was sitting back, and I don't want to say anything bad about LAN. I have really nothing but goodwill towards the staff there, the people there, and everything. This is just an observation of mine that there is always a wave of LAN review releases. Like, if there is a set on a certain embargo date, let's say I get a brand new set for next year, you can watch my video, but you could also watch like 20 other people post a review of that same set on the same day. And I honestly felt that the content that did the best for me, and I don't like the word content, I don't feel like I'm making content. I'm making like videos that I want to watch myself, that I hope that you would want to watch as well. The ones that perform the best on Duckbricks are actually the ones that are pretty unrelated to the LEGO Ambassador Network and are just ideas that I wanted to make. Like, there are videos that I make that are like, hey, here are my favorite new parts from the latest wave of releases. Or here's a video where I retell the story of one of my favorite LEGO themes in like a massive multi-hour long video. Those are the types of videos, or like even like a collection tour or looking back at history. Those are the videos that it seems that people really, first of all, want to see from the channel, and second of all, I really want to make. Like, I love making those kinds of videos, and it's not that I don't love doing early reviews, but I feel like given that the startup has really taken off, and I'm so excited and grateful and passionate about where we can bring that in the future, my time on Duckbricks has gotten less and less and less and less over the entire year. And quitting Microsoft helped. It allowed me to sustain this for a little bit, but given the exponential growth of Nui, I only have literally a few hours every week, like 2 to 3 hours every week, let's say, to actually work on Duckbricks videos. So if I only have that limited time, I figured, while it is a tough decision, I may as well just actually focus all my energy and all my passion into making videos that really speak to me and things that really excite me, versus trying to catch up with the schedule of reviews and embargoes. And look, here's the thing. You can always say no to getting a LAN review, right? Like, I could always turn down something. I could stay in the LAN and only accept Ninjago sets, for instance. But I'm going to be honest. I know myself well enough that if there is an opportunity to receive free LEGO, and especially early LEGO, I will never say no. Like, you can send me a theme that I do not care, could not care less about. Like, you can send me Duplo sets for free. I would not say no. I would do something with those Duplo sets, you know? Like, I know myself, I know how I am, and I really sat and grappled. And for a while, I thought, well, what if I just turned down every opportunity other than, like, 1 or 2 themes that really matter, and I couldn't do it. Like, I physically could not bring myself to say no to the LEGO. And I think that is the thing with when you're in the LEGO Ambassador Network. It is very hard to decline offers that you're personally like, oh my gosh, it's free LEGO, why not? And I figured that the only way to basically set myself free from having to do these obligations to put out early reviews on all of these sets that I've been receiving is to simply walk away from the program and use the little time I have left on Duckbricks to focus on videos that I want to make. So, all that to be said, I want to emphasize that I will still, I mean, obviously, this is not a decision saying that I'm stepping away from Duckbricks. This is a decision saying that I want to make Duckbricks better, and I want to be making the videos that you all want to see. For a while, before Nui took off and before I really had the startup, or while I was still working at Microsoft, I had a lot of time to make both LAN videos and videos that I was really excited about, and those could coexist. And I'm not saying I'm not excited about LAN videos, but you know what I mean. Like videos that really, really spoke to me. I could do both. You know, Spider-Man always does both. But this time I felt that with my responsibilities at work, it just didn't make sense. And as amazing and as fun as going to Fan Media Days in person was this year, and getting a chance to see so many amazing new 2026 sets, which most of you haven't even seen, and I can't wait to talk about that. As cool as that was, it was really, really tough on my team, on my co-founders, on my clients, for me to be away for that long. And when you're at Fan Media Days, it's not that I could work remotely. I think I got called into an urgent work meeting during a break in Fan Media Days, and I was sitting there in the conference room trying to explain, like, I was like, hey, I cannot call right now. They're like, dude, just step out. Like, I can't, there's no stepping out of Fan Media Days. They are revealing new sets. You get 5 minutes, reveal, film your footage, they wheel it out, they bring in the next one. There is no stepping out. Like, and also, like, it's not the kind of thing where I can just leave. It's a big opportunity and an honor to be there. So I was saying to my co-founders and my team, like, I'm so sorry, I cannot be on this urgent call. And that had ramifications on my business. And I kind of walked away feeling like I was torn in two different directions, and I had to do what's best for my company, for my business. And as much as I've loved being in the LAN, this is what has to be done. Now, I'm not saying that in the future, let's say years from now, we don't know where Nui is going to be in terms of success. Maybe it really takes off and I get to step back a little bit. I'm not closing the door forever. This is not a goodbye forever. This is a farewell for now and more of a see you around to LAN, because as I said, I'll still be working with LEGO on projects that I would love to talk to them about. I'm sure they'll reach out to me with stuff, and if it's something that really, really excites me or really speaks to me, by all means, I'm still going to do it. But that is not going to be as part of the Ambassador Network. So in terms of material things that will change for the channel, unfortunately, I will no longer be receiving sets early to review. The ones that I really care about, I'm going to be honest, are Ninjago. And I'm going to say, if you want to watch early Ninjago reviews, my good friend Sean, who also actually works at Nui, aka Bricks My Mind, I would highly recommend you check out his channel for early Ninjago reviews. I am sure that he has got a lot of exciting things in that regard being worked on, and I mean, I even watch his reviews because he catches things in there that I even miss. So I would say early reviews, highly recommend Bricks My Mind for Ninjago. If you want superheroes, Mini Superheroes Today is the man for superheroes. So I feel like there are people out there to cover that content. The only LEGO reviews that I will be doing going forwards are on sets that personally interest me, that are maybe rare or exclusive or exciting, as well as everything Ninjago. I will still commit to reviewing every Ninjago set. I just will be doing them on release day. So this year, January 1st, I am going to be traveling in Switzerland and France. I will be going to the LEGO store in wherever I am on January 1st. I will be buying one of every new Ninjago set, and I will be building them in my hotel room on New Year's Day and reviewing them. I'll be spending the first day of the new year while on vacation, building and reviewing sets. Will there be no white background? Will it look, the lighting might be a little off? Yes, it's not going to be perfect, but you know what? That is the sacrifice I have to make here, because that is the decision I've made to step away from LAN. So it is a little bit more inconvenient to have to hunt down sets, but also I will say it's kind of part of the fun. I really miss being able to walk into a LEGO store and buy sets that I really am excited about and pick them up versus, like, it's almost weird to say, but getting so many sets from LAN this year, I have missed that part of the hobby of like going in and like buying sets in the store and being part of the crowd and feeling the excitement and talking to people. I rarely go into the LEGO store anymore because I was being sent a lot of stuff from LAN, and I'm so grateful for that. I want to emphasize I'm very grateful for that, but that is a part of the hobby that I have missed. And videos that I make, like shopping for every LEGO set on January 1st, that's going to be an awesome video, and I'm so excited I can do that video again because I haven't been sent anything early from LAN. So I can go in and actually do that video. Now, for the rest of the year, there will be pretty much no early reviews aside from two. One set that I can't talk about yet right now, but I was able to film some early footage of while I was at Fan Media Days. And honestly, while I was there, the idea was kind of in the back of my head where I was like, do I maybe want to step away from LAN? It was while I was trying to juggle these work calls. And so I decided to film an early review of that set at Fan Media Days. So we'll be doing a video for that, and I also got a chance to recently collaborate with Marvel and Disney Plus in a really fun collaboration to announce their Avengers Strange Tales series, like a short special on Disney Plus, and they actually sent me one of the Lego Marvel sets early, and I asked if I could review it early, and they said yes, I just have to stick to this embargo date, and I said absolutely, sure thing. So I will be publishing an early review of that set, and that had nothing to do with LAN. That was just a separate engagement. So stay tuned for 2 more early reviews coming from me. But after those 2, I am done. There probably will be no more early reviews ever. Again, if you're looking for the Ninjago stuff, especially with the anniversary, timing's not great, but I had to make this decision. Go watch Sean, aka Bricks by Mind. So that is all for early reviews, and in terms of the rest of my LAN content, I will continue to publish reveals from Fan Media Days. So I was there on site taking footage of exciting brand new 2026 sets, and I'll publish reveals, but now that I'm no longer part of LAN, I am not being told the embargo dates or release times for those sets. So imagine that my content might come out a little bit later, because right now the way it works is that we are given a full list of the sets, and we are told what times we can post footage for it at the exact time slot. Now that I'm not in LAN, I have to wait and see everybody else post theirs, where let's say set A releases tomorrow, or is revealed tomorrow. I wake up in the morning, I see all my friends have posted set A, and I'm like, okay, I'm good to go to post that material. So my content might be maybe a few hours, maybe a few days late, depending on what I'm doing at that time. But I will still commit to posting everything I filmed at Fan Media Days, because I don't want to let that opportunity go to waste either. But other than that, my LAN videos basically end here. And this is not a LAN video. They did not ask me to make this. I'm making this of my own accord because I want to let people know in the Duckbricks community and Duckbricks fans that I am making this really hard choice. So this is it, and I really, really hope and am appreciative of your support. And I totally understand, like, if you're just here for early reviews, that's totally fine. Like, go watch Bricks by Mind. No harm done, like, it's all good. Everyone's here for a different reason. But if you're here for Duckbricks, if you're here for the collection and the trips that I do and the Lego shopping and hunting and for the historical videos that I make and the story retelling videos I make, expect a lot more of those, because those are the videos I want to make. And another major thing that I want to say is that I've always said, and I want to stick by this, I do not want this to feel like a job. The second that making Lego videos feels like a job to me, I'm gonna stop doing it, because I do not want more work stress in my life. I'm gonna be honest. Work has been a lot, and it has been very, very stressful with nights of no sleep building this startup out just over the past year. There's been a lot of political maneuvering and really having to push my engineers and my team to the best possible ways they can be. And the way that I run Nui, we don't run it like a normal startup. I've always said I want to run Nui like a hedge fund, where every employee feels directly motivated. Loyalty is something that's rewarded. I have somebody on the team, actually someone in the Lego community, who is starting to be a really important role in the company as a performance coach for my employees. He meets with all of our employees, and it's a lot. I guess suffice to say, it is a lot of work and a lot of effort, and that gives me a lot of fulfillment in my life, but also a lot of stress. And Lego is something that has always been in my life from when I was a little kid. It's a way for me to de-stress and to relax. And I began to realize that by being part of the LAN and having to stick to so many embargo dates and times and early reviews, it was starting to feel more like a chore and a job and a task rather than something I was doing for fun out of passion. And I never want that to be the case, because the moment I lose the passion in what I'm doing with Duckbricks is the moment I feel that the videos lose a lot of their luster. And I feel like if you feel that I've lost my passion for Lego or for making videos, don't watch my videos anymore. You know, like then I'm not making them for the right reasons for me. So that's why I'm making this choice. I want to spend every hour, minute, and second I have in my day on Duckbricks I want to spend that time making videos that I really want to make. And I do not want to be dictated by any schedule. I do not want to have to worry about review times or embargoes. I just want to make the videos that I want to make and release them at the times I want to release them. So will that mean that maybe Duckbricks posting might get a little less regular? Because right now I'm posting, as a rule, every other day, always. Unless there's like an embargo, that kind of messes up the schedule a little bit. But other than embargoes, every other day I've stuck to that. Will I stick to that going forwards? Maybe, maybe not. If I get really excited and I want to make a video that's like maybe one day consecutively after another, I'm going to make that video. If there's going to be a 2 to 3 day period where I don't really feel like making a video or I don't really feel like there's stuff to put out, then I will not put out videos during that time. So I really want to focus on quality and not quantity now. And I understand that if I were treating this as a job, if I were looking at the algorithm or at my metrics, which I rarely ever do, I literally only looked at them to make this decision. If I were to look at the metrics, you would be saying it's crazy to stop posting regularly because the views are going to go down and the subscribers are going to go down, and yes, they are. And I do think that that will be a hit to the channel, but I'm not doing this for views. I'm not doing this for subscribers. I'm not doing it for likes. I'm certainly not doing it for money because, frankly, I don't make that much money at all from YouTube. Like, I make almost nothing. I'm literally doing this for passion, and I'm doing this because I love Lego. I love sharing my passion for Lego, and I'm doing this as a way for me to de-stress in the incredibly rigorous job that I have right now. So that's what's important to me, and that's what we are going to keep doing here at Duckbricks, and I feel like that passion in the videos hopefully will translate, and I hope that you'll be excited by the videos I make. So I just want to end this by saying a big thank you to LEGO and to LAN and to all of you for following me on this journey. And I brought alongside a set with me. This is the Monkey Kid Ultra Mech. And this set is very special to me because this was the very first set I received early from the LEGO Ambassador Network. Number one, the very first package that arrived, it actually arrived, I remember, by itself. And this was my first LAN package. It was in December of 2022 because I joined the LAN in November 2023 and, November 2022. And now that it's November 2025, I've stepped away. It's been almost exactly 3 years. But this was my very first LAN set. 3 years ago, almost around this time, I received this set. And the excitement I had over receiving a set for the very first time is something that I cannot describe in this world. It is very rare for me to have received a set that has not leaked publicly or there are images online, but there were no images of this out there at the time. This or maybe the sets that came alongside it in the next shipment. But I do remember the feeling of opening a box and seeing LEGO sets I had never seen before, and nothing is ever going to be able to recapture the magic of that moment. Having this in hands, even like a month earlier than I was supposed to, than everybody else got it, was so exciting to me. And I remember calling like one of my best friends and being like, dude, oh my god, I can't believe it. The first LAN package has arrived. Like, I can't even tell you or show you what it is, but I'm beyond excited right now. And that's why this is a really special set to me, because it marked a very important part of my life and a really special day in my life when I received it. And I just wanted to kind of have things go full circle. 3 years later, I'm still looking at the set, still feeling like, wow, that was such a cool opportunity. And it's because of LEGO and because of LAN that I got that opportunity. So I'm so grateful. And of course, like with any business relationship, there have been ups and downs. I have not always agreed with everything that the LAN has done. I have actually voiced things before where I have spoken my word and my mind, and I've said that, hey, like, I don't agree with how things are done here, or I don't like how things are being done, but respect is a really important thing to me. The LEGO group treats everybody in the LAN with respect, and to dispel any maybe misconceptions or thoughts about the LAN, we are never asked to give good reviews. We actually are encouraged to share our like actual thoughts about sets when we're sent them by LAN, and there's even a forum where we could fill out like, hey, I didn't like this because it's overpriced, or it's a bad build, or for whatever reason, and that gets sent back to LEGO to actually iterate on. So they encourage us to be honest. Now, is there an inherent bias in receiving a set for free and maybe making you like it more? Potentially. I'd like to think that I have tried not to be affected by that bias, and I don't think I have. I think if you go back and watch my reviews, if I really love a set, which, I mean, Obviously, I really love a lot of sets, but if I really love a set that I get through LAN, I make that clear. But also, if I feel like a set is overpriced that I get through LAN, I also make that very clear. Just watch my latest reviews on the Star Wars Summer Wave to know my very true and honest opinions on that wave. And I have always tried to operate with integrity in my life, in business, and with LEGO. And I feel like I do want to emphasize that nobody in LAN has to give good reviews. It is just a program for you to get things early and see what you do from there. The LAN is what you make of it. And so I'm very grateful for LAN that despite differences that we've had, despite arguments that I've had, despite frustrations I've had, you'll have frustrations in every program. I am walking away from this feeling like it was an incredibly fulfilling part of my life. I am so grateful to the friends that I made through LAN, to the LAN staff who was so supportive and so incredible during my entire time there. I'm just very grateful. And of course, for all of you watching this video and supporting me on this journey. I cannot wait to see where this journey brings us. I have actually been wanting to get into short form content and posting on Instagram, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok, and I finally have a plan to launch that. If everything goes to schedule, January 1st, I'm gonna launch short form and really dive into that. And I've been wanting to do that for a while, but I've literally had no time. And stepping away from LAN has ironically given me more time to work on the LEGO stuff that I want to do. So stay tuned for that. I am going to be doing a lot more announcements based on that in the future because I have so many really cool ideas for things that we can do there. So stay tuned there. And if you're not following already, check out my Instagram, TikTok, linked in the description below. And those will be expanding a lot more over the next few, I guess starting in January 1st of next year, where I think there'll be a lot of changes to the channel. So as far as the schedule for the rest of the year, I will be, of course, celebrating all the sets and minifigures that came out this year in my annual LEGO Awards, the top 10 video series where I talk about what were my favorite things that LEGO did this year. I'll be putting out a few videos here and there, and of course, a lot of announcements about new sets are coming pretty early, I guess in the next few days, whenever this video comes out, of content I filmed at Fan Media Days. But starting January 1st, it's going to be a brand new channel, a brand new Duck Bricks. I'm going to maybe change things up. I'm going to put out different types of videos, change up the branding a little bit. There are going to be exciting changes, and stay tuned for that. I cannot wait to unveil what I've been working on the Duck Bricks side for that. And I just want to say thank you to everyone, to my friends, to LAN, to LEGO, to all of you, the viewers. This has been the ride of a lifetime being part of LAN, and I remember it being one of my #1 goals, and I started Duck Bricks late 2020. And in 2022, late 2022, I finally got into LAN. And that was a huge goal of mine. It's checked off my bucket list for my life, and I'm more than happy walking away and stepping away, and it feels certainly that it's the right decision. And as time has passed since I've made this decision, it feels more and more right. So I just want to say thank you, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for Duck Bricks. Bye for now.